When was it around? Was this around the time when you beat up a rugby team, or was that a
No, that was a couple years later. That bullshit. Knuckles, you know what that's like when you've been that guy, but you see some guys come into town and they look across and there's your young guy
sizing you up.
sizing you up and you got 6 girls around. At the time, I had one girl with me, and it happens to me that's now my wife, and I'm going to impress her from Saskatchewan in St. Louis. And she's the only girl with me, and this asshole comes over and starts a bunch of shit, and he's talking about the music. And finally, I turn around, and I said, "Hey, listen, man, I had country music playing, and I knew the bar. We were in there all the time. I said, play whatever you want, whatever you like." And I said, "If you don't like it, change it." He said, "I don't like you." Wham! Punches. For the only time in Tony Twist's life, he was going to be the voice of reason. And he picks me up from behind, and he's so damn strong. You know the size of this guy.
Twister.
He picks me up from behind and got my chin in the brick in the wall saying, "What are you doing? We got a fucking camp in a week and a half. What are you thinking?" And he keeps saying this. And I'm saying, "Twister, put me, I can't get loose from him. He's a butt."
You want to kill this guy, right?
Put me down. He says, "I'm not putting you down. I'm not putting you down." With that, this dumbass kid that's with him gives Twister a right in the ear. And I'm telling you, he put me down and smacked this kid faster than I could turn around. All shit hit the fan. And the funny thing was, we had a buddy from our junior that was visiting us that was a tough bugger. His name was Curtis Chamberlain. We called him Beano. He was there, and Brendan Shanahan was there. And I'm telling you this on the air because this is the funny thing. Shanahan is like, buttoned up right now. He's Mr. President of Toronto. I had dinner with him the other night. I love the guy. I tell people this all the time. If I was picking guys in a street fight that I played with and guys that I grew up with, I would pick Tony Twist number 1. I would pick Joey Kosar number 2. Guys that I grew up with, okay? And I would pick Brendan Shanahan number 3. He's the toughest Irish. And people like, "Oh, he did pretty good on the ice." I don't care what he did on the ice. If I'm in a street fight and I poor Shanny's going to hear about this because he's Mr. President of the Leafs. But that son of a bitch can fight like you read about. And he jumped over the corner of the bar, and now you're in a fight with the 4 of us. And the police come in, and they ziplock these poor bastards to each other on the floor and tell us to go downstairs. And they come downstairs and said, "This is how this is going to work. They've decided they're not pressing charges. You guys are going to go out the back door and leave and not come back till tomorrow." They're a bunch of rugby players from Kansas City. They're starting shit. They started shit. Everyone said the same story you've said, but you guys got to go out the back door. Now, I don't know what they did to these kids to make these kids drop the charges or whatever they were going to do. It didn't matter. They started all this shit anyway. But I have no idea. I don't know how bad SLU beat them the next day at St. Louis University, but I can tell you what these kids would have looked like when they went out on that field. They looked like they'd have played 3 games in an hour and a half.
They were already beaten. That's it.
Out of them, and they needed it.